3 locations. We've got a centre in Burnie, a centre in Launceston and a centre in Hobart. And the really important part about that is that our community move a lot, so they move from area to area. And the best part about that is that the health services are all connected, so community are still getting the care that they require, and that history and knowledge of their past and what's going on within our families.
Health is so much more than about healthcare, and it's about people's health is maintained and improved by their connection with land, their connection with cultural practice and tradition, and with each other within families and community.
When you get some of the people in that have had heart or lung or certain health issues prior, and watching them from the very outset and seeing how they progress through to the end is just brings a smile to everyone's face, I think.
Food preparation and cooking skills are so important for everyone, men and women, and having that confidence and the skill to put together a meal is so integral to living well and living a healthier life.
Well, the centre started in around 1973, and it became an organisation back then, and it only started off with just a house and a hostel and a meeting place for Aboriginal people. And as time went on, they got funding for a health service. First health service happened in Hobart, and then as we got more funding and more workers, we were able to expand, and health service opened in Launceston and then in Burnie. We start working with our families in utero, so we look at working with Aboriginal people when they're still in mum's womb, sort of thing. So that's where best care starts, and we work with them until they're elders in our community. So we're not just a health service. We offer all different sorts of programs, from aged care programs, youth programs, language programs, legal services. So it's not just about what our health service provides, but it's also about big picture, about getting back to land, getting our language back, doing cultural practices like mutton birding and all those sorts of things as well. So.
In 2002, we started a intensive, concerted, comprehensive campaign to reduce tobacco-related harm for Tasmanian Aborigines. And the program that we designed, using both Heart Foundation and Lung Foundation guidelines, was an intensive exercise and education-based program that ran over 10 weeks.
With the program, through the doctors, we identify community members that might be at risk or have a health and lung disease, a heart or lung disease, and we contact them to invite them in to do the program, because it's really important with all of our programs that we get them 100% on board, because otherwise participation and attendance is not going to happen. We bring them in, we get them to talk to previous participants, then we have a look and talk to the doctor about why they think they should be coming on this program. If they agree, which they always do because it's such a great program, we start at week 1 by doing a pre-assessment. Now that pre-assessment is a holistic thing. We talk about a fitness test. We get them in for an hour and a half and we run a fitness test, very similar to what you do when you're at school. So you do a shuttle run, you do a walk, you lift weights, we check your lung capacity. Then we do mental and social wellbeing tests. We get them to have a look through some nationally recognised questionnaires.
Because it was situated within the Aboriginal Health Service, it wasn't, it went further than lots of mainstream tobacco control, which is about encouraging people to quit or to stop the uptake of smoking in the first place. And because it included looking after the people who already had smoking-related damage. or who are going to develop smoking-related health issues.
But it's your mental health as well. So I think with the community and that come along to these programs, you know, it might be a bit rough and looking at it from a negative point of view to start with, but the time they finish the 10 weeks, you can just see it. You know, they kind of just, they're happy to sit back and have a talk, and it kind of gives them that, more confidence to, come out and, look at the issues that they may have, from certain conditions that they may be suffering. So it's something that I find, one of the best parts of running the program.
How's your exercise going?
Yeah, not bad. I was hoping I don't feel like I've lost any weight yet.
Weight's one side of it. It's a 10-week program, so it's more the point of you just getting a start, and the exercise, like weight side, it will probably come later.
We partner them up. And it could be someone in their family. We have a chat with them and say, who are you best partnered with? They might say, my wife would like to come. We get their wife in and they'll be their partner for that 8 weeks, or it could be their cousin, it could be a friend, or it could be someone they don't know. We'll partner them up for 8 weeks, and they come in for 2 lots of 1-hour exercise sessions. These sessions are held at the Aboriginal Health Service, so it's held within our building, which is just a fantastic outcome. It just does so much for them. But we get them to come in and they exercise, but they don't do it with a personal trainer. They actually do it with an exercise physiologist. So the exercise physiologist talks to them about what goals they want to achieve, and again, not just basing them on you want to lose weight. It's everything. Is it, do you want to sleep better? Do you want to feel better? Do you want to be able to walk your kids to school? Do you want to live longer? Do you want to quit smoking? The big picture stuff. And using those goals, they encourage them to go through and increase their exercise or whatever it is that they do through the program. They're fully supported in that program by an Aboriginal health worker. Currently, Aaron goes with them and he attends with them every session.
Like the participants that we have coming into the program that may be smokers, we try and work with them in the ways of, looking to have alternatives with, probably participating in our quit smoking program, which is also run within the health service. Like some people probably ain't ready to start at this stage, but the best thing with when they're doing this 10-week program on the exercise and the nutritional side of it, they see the benefits in that, and I think when they notice and they are progressing, they start to look at the smoking side of it as well, and they're thinking, well, imagine if I cut back on that. So then people that may not have been interested to start off with, certainly later on to start to come into looking at it to, giving up and finding other ways and means to, make their health and their life a lot more easier.
Okay, I'm just going to show you the healthy eating pyramid, but also the new Australian Guide to Healthy Eating. So that's our new plate model. Basically shows the balance of foods that our bodies need in a day.
So that's twice a week. They come in for an hour and then they come in for another hour, so 3 hours a week, and that third hour is for an information session. They're invited in at lunchtime and we cover various topics, including diet, nutrition, cooking, label reading, what is diabetes, what is heart disease, what is lung disease, can we support you to quit smoking, why are you doing this program, what is the benefits of exercising.
Here we've got a selection of different herbs, both fresh and dried, that you can use instead of salt. So just reducing salt's important, especially for blood pressure, if you have high blood pressure, or preventing high blood pressure. And so,
but with like the people that are participating within the program with that are smokers, it's certainly something that I've seen myself, people that have actually quit during the program. The ones that are at least looking to quit, through the middle of the program. So it's definitely a whole kind of brought together and kind of side of it with their health that they look to. So with the smoking, they certainly see the benefits why they should give up. So it's this program works for a lot of reasons that it's going along at the moment.
You have participants that will come religiously and are 100% attendance. They are amazing. And then we get our people that they'll come for the first 4 weeks, they'll come and then there'll be a slight drop off. So what we do to try and maintain that is we maintain contact with them every day. So the Aboriginal health worker will give them a call. How you going? How'd you go at exercise yesterday? What exercise are you doing today towards your goals? Are you going for a walk? Are you coming in tomorrow? Don't forget we've got the information session. Are you coming in on Thursday for your next exercise group? So it's so they know that we are here to support them. And at the same time we might say, how are you feeling? Have you got any injuries? They might say, I've got a bit of a niggle in my leg. No problems. How about we book you into the doctor? How about we book you into the physio? So anything we can do to encourage them, to support them, to continue the program, we will do.
So it's not that you finish up after 10 weeks, you've got that continuation of it.
There are so many areas that people can improve on in food and making healthier food choices. And what we encourage is really setting goals and taking steps, small steps, and building those small steps up over time to see that, yes, 1 year down the track, you've made quite a number of changes. So it's not expecting too much of yourself and trying to change everything at once. Well, one of the things that we do at the centre is encourage active transport. So that is trying to walk or even take a bike where we can instead of taking the car, just to promote physical activity. And that's a big component of that. So yesterday we walked to the supermarket, and that's what I do with the groups. We walk because it's actually not that far. We have a physical activity policy which says, if a destination is within about 2 kilometres, try and walk. And that was in line with our policy.
So we'll go to aisle 2. Right, so today we're looking at a few products and reading labels, because labels tell us a lot about the food that we're shopping for. So I've got a healthy shopping guide that I'll give you each, and it's going to help us in choosing healthier products and also comparing products. So we'll start with crackers and crisp bread, because a lot of people have questions about these.
So what are we looking for in these crisp breads?
We're going to be looking at fat, saturated fat, salt and fibre.
We started off looking at a range of products and using a healthy shopping guide that we obtained from Diabetes Tasmania. We look at the criteria and compare products to the criteria and see which ones are healthier, and also discuss just comparing products with each other.
We'll start with looking at salt. So that's listed as sodium on the...
Wow.
So if we look at sodium per 100 gram, what figure?
787 milligrams on Cruskets,
And how much?
259 milligrams on the corn thins,
What's
On the
yours, Sam?
Savoy, the sodium is 848 milligrams per 100 grams.
Yep.
And on the Vita Wheat, per 100 grams, the sodium is 452 milligrams.
So you can see there's a big difference there. Does that surprise you?
Yeah, it does a
Yeah,
bit.
it did, because I used to like these and I thought they were healthy.
There is so much information out there, and that can be really confusing. So you get a lot of questions on what to look for on the labels and what products are better to eat.
What we're doing is looking at the margarines and the butters, and basically they're all fat, so they're a source of fat, because margarine is fat and butter is fat. So what we're looking for is are those that are lower in saturated fat. So if you grab one...
Often people will come and bring products that they've found at the supermarket or food choices they've made, and products they have at home, and have questions about that. So we'll have a look at that and compare to the criteria and discuss in comparison to other products. food is much more than just nutrition, isn't it? It's a social glue almost. Well, it's a great thing to come around and share and get together. It's really about the social and the providing an enjoyable, relaxed, social mealtime environment.
Welcome everyone, thanks for coming along, and today we're going to do a few things around heart health and nutrition and food choices. The first thing is discussing where fats are found and different kinds of fat in food, and we're also going to look at the healthy eating pyramid, salt substitutes, and do some cooking as well. And the food preparation we're doing today is we're making kangaroo patties, chickpea and couscous salad, 3-bean salad, and pasta and tuna salad.
Well, as part of the 10-week heart health program, I run at least 2 sessions for each block. So one of those is the nutrition information session. So we go through the types of fats in food, identifying which foods are high in saturated fat, because one of the key goals of taking care of our heart is to reduce saturated fat in our diet.
So fatty meat is high in what kinds of fat, do you think? Saturated. Yeah. So that's a high saturated food. What about coconut milk and coconut oil?
Well, that's got heaps of fat in it.
Yeah, it has,
Yeah.
and it's so high in saturated as well.
Yeah.
Each person will do a quick assessment of their own eating, and fruit and vegetables, promoting fruit and vegetables and ensuring we're getting our 2 fruit, 5 veg. So then we look at what goals people want to set in order to start moving toward a heart healthy diet, and looking at barriers, so barriers to healthy eating and what stops people from actually achieving their goals and what could help them, and part of my role is to work with people on addressing those barriers.
So what's the difference between mono and poly? What do those words mean?
They're just different fats, so they're chemically.
We made a range of dishes yesterday, and I wanted to showcase legumes because they're a product that some people may not be so familiar with. So we had those in a couple of the salads, and then using the cultural meat, kangaroo, in the patties. And people love the food preparation and cooking that we do, and trying new foods. And often you'll hear that they're keen to take the recipe and try it at home as well.
Okay, kangaroo patties. I like how you've added the extra vegetables.
Yeah, use whatever you got. You know, like, it doesn't matter what goes into them, because it all cooks up and it helps spread it out a bit too.
Yeah,
you know.
and the kangaroo mince is really lean, isn't it? You can tell.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of fat in it.
98% fat free. It's beautiful. It's perfect for, especially if you're diabetic and that you need to control your eating.
Yep, and for your heart health, obviously, as well. And I mean, if you think like sausages can be up to 20% fat, so kangaroo mince being 2% fat is just such a big difference, isn't it?
Plus all the added vegetables too when you put it in it, and it's really good for you.
So what flavouring are you adding?
Well, we've added some mixed herbs and some lemon.
Fantastic. Sounds good.
I live on my own, and Mum taught me how to cook when I was young, when I went away, and gave me the old Country Women's Association cookbook. I've still got it. It's got ounces and pounds, and and I use that all the time. And Rosie took us through the supermarket one day, showed us how to read the labels. She gave us a little book. Perfect it is for some, especially if you're single. You just go through and you pick out the ones that are good for you, and that's how I do it. And I just recipe books that I've picked up here from the health centre. I'm a diabetic, and I've when I first come to the health centre, I was nearly 150 kg. I'm down to 121. So, and that's only gradual decrease of weight, changing of eating habits, and doing some exercise. It's been really good, yeah.
Olives. Now we'll add a bit of red colour. Red capsicum. That's looking good.
We're doing chickpeas and I can't pronounce that word, Tammy, can you?
What?
Couscous salad. Sorry, I'm not very good at pronouncing the word. We're using salt reduced stock, chicken stock. And we've already put a bit of cumin seed in there. And we're in the middle putting the couscous in there. Sorry, I'm not very good at pronouncing that.
I put 3 cups of this in.
Yep.
You ready? Two. Probably better over the pot.
And then when it's just cooled down a little, just keep fluffing it up. Start adding all your all the other ingredients. That looks good.
Now sticking to the bottom.
No, it's not like that.
Promoting water is a key message that's part of our programs, and we provide water as a standard drink at all our groups, and role model and really encourage water consumption and help people address the barriers to drinking water, because a lot of people do come to me and say, one of the first things they'll say is, I don't drink enough water. And so it's looking at why is that, and addressing those barriers to ensure that we're drinking enough.
In the 10th week we do our post-assessments. So it's identical testing that we did in the first week. So it's through the fitness tests, the social questionnaires, the emotional questionnaires, and the clinical testing. And then after that we provide them with an outcome, and so it was in a document form. We'll say, here we go, look what you were doing at the beginning. This is at the beginning you could walk 4 metres, now you can walk 24. At the beginning your heart was working this hard to do this, it's only working this hard to do this. Can you see what the benefits are of just doing so many hours of exercise? Then we go back to them and say, tell us what you have noticed, and what have you noticed that might have improved, or hopefully everything's improved. Type of outcomes we're getting is I'm sleeping. I can actually sleep for more than 4 hours. I'm not hungry as often. I feel emotionally and mentally happier. I actually want to get out of bed because I've got somewhere I need to go. I love coming into the health service to see everyone. I've made some great friends, because that's the other part of it. It's about reconnecting. You might reconnect with someone you hadn't seen before, or making new friendships.
Yeah, I suppose the good thing about sort of this program is that, you know, we've gone through a 10-week structured program. Yeah, and we got assessed at the beginning and then at the end. And I think sort of surprisingly everybody, you know, showed improvement at the end. Yeah, and I finished my 10 weeks probably about 2 months ago, and now sort of, you know, even though we're now in the maintenance program, but I'm still sort of continuing on, you know, the same levels as what I was doing before. Yeah, and just sort of increasing some of the things I do. Yeah, because it's all sort of structured, you know, with a professional, you know, fitness advisor. Yeah, and that's what I think really, really great about it, is that it's a fully structured program and it's sort of run by professionals overseeing it. Overall, I feel that I'm sort of more healthy. Yeah.
What do I enjoy about my work? I enjoy most of all working with my community. I wouldn't work anywhere else. That's, you know, for me, I work with people that I once shared a cot with, you know, that I bathed with, that I get the opportunity to grow with. The people I work with isn't just at the end of the day I close the door. I usually go home to these families. You know, they're my family. I see them on weekends. So at the end of the day, when you make one change in my community, that's the best feeling I've ever had. It's like, you know, you go home and pat yourself on the back and go, yeah,
I made a difference in my community today.